countdown has finished up, and we're just waiting for the streams to catch up.
Looks like we're off.
Alright, so in the black magic shop we have Fire 2 and not much else. In the white magic shop we have Soft and Invis, so not a great level 1 magic shop.
Well, the soft spell can save you some time because you won't have to buy any soft potions afterward, but this is not what you want to see in the first level white magic.
So Xar elects to take an imp fight on the outskirts of Coneria, and it looks like Xarnax will do the same, both of them hitting level 2 after this fight. Looks like he'll pick up 3 falchions and just look at the armor shop and feel sad. Meanwhile, Xarnax is going to pick another fight with imps. And it looks like soft potions are very expensive this seed, so the spell is going to come in handy. Xarnax gets level 3 while Xar heads up to the Temple of Fiends, resets after a quick encounter outside of Coneria.
Seems like the RNG table isn't so bad in this seed. At least the beginning.
It's starting off fairly generous, although no cabins and tents in Coneria means it's going to be a little difficult to manipulate it in the beginning.
Well, there's a cabin and a chest in the Temple of Fiends, so this is better than nothing, I guess.
Yeah, and it looks like he's going to go outside and burn it right now.
And there goes Garland.
Level 3 for Xar. Not much exciting in the initial Temple of Fiends chest, though. The money will definitely help, but nothing too exciting. And now Xarnax makes short work of Garland, level 4 for him. Meanwhile, Xar saves up and heads for the Bridge of Text.
After filling up on some pures and heal potions.
I expect Xar to head straight for Provoca and then visit Matoya's cave once he has the ship. Tends to be what he does anyway, but I think it's the smart play with no access to tensor cabins.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. And since you don't know what the RNG table is going to look like, you really want to fill up on tents and cabin as soon as you can.
Already Xar seems to be taking a lot of encounters, taking about 3 encounters in 12 steps. We'll get our first look at what the shops in Provoca have as soon as he finishes fighting the pirates.
Meanwhile, Xarnax is going across the bridge of Tex. Fire 2 making a quick work of those pirates. And we're gonna see what's Matoya is hiding.
Right, so a little bit of a route divergence. Czar picks up the ship. And we have cabins in the item shop. A little expensive, though.
And very expensive houses, too.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt, especially if they have to do Marsh Cave.
Money, but nothing interesting in Matoya's cave.
I would be very tempted to hold on to that much money.
Yeah, that was like 9,000 gold.
Yeah, that's easily 2 spells in Elfland. Alright, out of the way, old man. Some nice utility spells in the White Magic shop. Cure, Harm 4, and Wall.
Oh, and Lit 3 in the Black Magic shop.
That's very nice to pick up.
Especially if Marsh Cave is mandatory, they're gonna want it to get rid of those wizards.
Czar runs into a shark and just resets out. A couple of quick encounters back to back, and he's just going to reset. Looks like he's going to head to Matoya's cave. I'm interested to see if he's going to keep the money. Meanwhile, Xarnax takes out the pirates, makes it up to level 5. And Czar's going to keep the money. Xarnax getting NPC blocked. I'm not sure if he picked up Lit 3 or not on the Red Mage.
I think he did, but I might be wrong.
Looks like he's headed straight to the Dwarf Cave.
Okay, the chat confirmed he got Lit 3.
Okay.
Only about 2,500 golds in the Dwarf Cave.
Certainly not worth the time loss bringing that back to Elfland, so Czar will just reset out, and I assume Xarnax will do the same.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, exactly. Might have been expecting it. I feel like that's why he didn't cure his poison character.
Makes sense. Right now, though, they are pretty much even with one another, but Czar has significantly more money. Ice 2 in Bane in the Black Magic shop.
Early Ice 2 or Ice 3 spell is really handy since you're always pretty much going into the volcano first, so you want to have some ice spell.
Level 3 Cure 3, also pretty helpful. Exit, far more valuable, but it looks like it's in a slot that the Red Mage can't learn. We also have Fire 3 and Fast. So it looks like Xarnax is going to lose a fair amount of time to Czardia just on access to Exit alone.
Yeah, that might be a game changer.
Still no sign of the bottle. Nothing particularly good in the armor shop. Looks like Czar's just going to pick up some light armor.
So, will we get TNT or Crown?
Ooh, early Crown might be interesting, especially if the TNT is key locked.
Yeah, early Crown is always good because you really don't want to look into every chest in the game.
And Xarnax is first into the Marsh Cave, with Czar not very far behind. Double ambushes. And another group is shadows for Xarnax.
Ooh, stun touch shadows. This could be bad.
Especially with the run failures. The thief squeaking by with 1 health in the hero run. Wow. So it looks like just a lot of money on this top floor, which benefits Xarnax more than Czar at this point. Although Xarnax just elects to reset, and so does Czar.
Yeah, Czar don't really need this money, and Xarnax doesn't have the exit spell, so I guess this is a wise move from both of them.
What's interesting is Exit was level 4, I believe, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Czar was a high enough level outside of Marsh Cave to be able to use that right now.
We'll see soon enough. He need to be level 8. More money. Heal helmet. Pretty nice find.
When you have a Force Thief, any item that casts a spell, I think with the exception of the Wizard Staff, is a pretty good find. It gives the Thief something to do that benefits your party.
Yeah, I actually feel like the Thief would be more useful even casting the Wizard Staff than trying to hit something.
And it looks like both runners got a fairly generous draw with only 2 wizards.
Yeah, especially since wizards seem to roll pretty high HP, over 100.
And we have a key item, but it's adamant. Completely useless to Xarnax. Maybe not so much. He can sell the Excalibur for a fair amount of money.
And the TNT right next to the adamant.
Xarnax clearing out this full formation of Grey Wolves. Looks like one of them lives, but he did not elect to run away, so he'll be reaping the benefits of this very full formation.
Also seems like you were right, Zar isn't high enough level to cast Exit. So both of them are gonna have to walk out.
Yep. So now both players have the TNT and the Adamant, and it looks like they're just going to check that last chest up at the top before running out. The Gargoyles are roughing up Xarnax's party.
$26,000 gold in the top right chest. Always a nice find in the beginning of the game too.
Yeah, one of the larger gold chests available. Always nice when you can get that early. Makes
I think
Oh, go ahead.
I think this is the third most valuable chest money-wise.
Oh, and this is a bad formation to run into, especially with your best runner currently paralyzed.
But the red mage managed to run away, so...
And just one step away from the staircase, ambush. It's like Zara was thinking about buying some of the expensive armor from Provoca. They'll just settle for picking up large stack of cabins and heal potions instead. Question in chat, where was Slab in Marsh Cave? They haven't found the Slab yet. That's the Adamant. And the Adamant was in Marsh Cave, guarded by the wizards.
But since we're talking about it, place your bets. Where will the slab be?
I'm thinking Mermaid Village. Go with the vanilla slab location.
I'm gonna go with Roadblock Earth Cave. Drumboard is going with the trolliest chest he could think about. I've been lucky enough never to find any key items in the locked chest in Marsh Cave.
I think the worst that you can do is having something in the locked chest in Sea Shrine, because I never want to go back to that floor. 40% of the fights are unrunnables there.
Yeah, especially if the crown is on the same floor, but somewhere else.
Alright,
Heal 3.
Yeah, well, heal 3 in the White Magic Shop is going to help a lot if Zar elects to do a little bit of leveling. And
Nuke and Warp in level 5 Black Magic Shop.
I think I would strongly consider selling off that Excalibur.
Yeah, but I'm not sure the Red Mage can learn Warp.
I think with Zar's party formation, definitely not, but with Xarnax's party, yeah, no question, sell that Excalibur off. I think I would have stuck around Melmond and fought a couple of fights outside of town just to build up enough money to pick up Nuke. This is a pretty good fight to take, though. Nothing wrong with the EXPs.
Especially with lots of AoE spells.
Now, it looks like these guys rolled pretty high HP. The EXPs still haven't gone down yet, but another Castellet 3 will do it. Meanwhile, Xarnax is headed back to Canaria to sell the Excalibur.
One of them is still alive. And there he goes.
Xarnax picking up 1 gold bracelet, and that is going to make a pretty big durability difference for whoever equips that. But now he will not have enough money to pick up Nuke in the next town.
Can the Red Mage learn Nuke?
I'm not sure if that is in one of the slots that he's allowed to. I think Heal 3 is definitely out of the question as well.
So is Warp, but I'm not sure about Nuke.
Looks like he can learn Nuke, just
Yeah, he
does
can.
not have enough money. Probably thinking about what he can sell.
Although Warp is vanilla, it's in the same spot it usually is, so even a black mage couldn't learn it.
Silver swords in the weapon shop, and for not very much either. Meanwhile, Czar picks up the canoe, and we'll see if he decides to do a little bit of leveling or if he heads straight over to the volcano.
Czar is level 9. I feel he should probably level up at least a bit.
It looks like bulls have stun touch. That's good to remember. They tend to spawn on the last 2 floors of the volcano, so it's always good to keep in mind what the worst case scenario is.
Yeah, especially since they tend to spawn in pack of 4.
I've lit 3, clearing out the rest of the group. And Czar is just going to head back to town. Tries to bane the giants, but they're having none of it. Right about this time in the game is when that becomes a little less useful.
Yeah, Bane is good as long as you're still in the first part of the first continent. Afterward, it pretty much never works.
This, however, is a pretty good encounter that Czar should have no trouble getting through. Xarnax's party is up to level 11.
Czar is 1 level behind, but he's much better equipped.
Certainly seems to be having better encounter luck as well. Very cheap pro rings available in the armor shop, and Xarnax is going to take advantage of that. Also removes the weapon held by the black belt, as unarmed strikes are going to do more damage than wooden nunchucks at this point. And looks like Xarnax thinks level 10 on the black belt is good enough and is going to head into the volcano.
And it seems like Czar is going to keep his thief dead.
A good move, I would say.
Yeah, I agree. As I read in the chat earlier, a good thief is a dead thief.
%100 agree. Question in chat, are there any other channels that host these races? Yes, if you like the Final Fantasy Randomizer races, also follow Randomizer Mania 2 and Speed Gaming, and speed gaming too.
And we found the bottle.
Alright, so they should be able to pick that up once they finish with the volcano. And
Xarnax going straight down the volcano.
it looks like he's just going to do his grind first, and then explore the rest of the volcano after that. And we'll see. I think if I was Xarnax, I would move that gold bracelet onto the black belt.
Oh, I actually thought he equipped the black belt with the gold bracelet.
I think he may have given it to one of the thieves at first, but I didn't see if he moved it or not. So he did move it. Check, confirm. And that is a lot of experience going his way. He definitely needs to keep that red mage alive a little more, just to get some mileage out of the healing spells.
And also burning through his spell to kill the Agamas faster, until the black belt can one-hit them.
Ooh, so Agama's first skill, Dazzle. Second skill is Scorch. We're not going to see what their third skill is. Are going to take a couple of levels from these peds. Red Mage stunned again. And down early. Xarnax may not be able to level up the black belt as much as he would like now.
I usually try to keep at least one other party member alive until the black belt is around 15 or 16. I don't know if this was intended, but it seems risky.
Yeah, this seems a little ambitious. The chance to strike first definitely helps him out here. Yeah, he had very fortunate turn order. But what I generally like to do is keep at least one party member around until the black belt is starting to one-hit the Agama, and then I feel more comfortable letting the black belt solo. The Dazzle misses, the Scorch is a little irrelevant, and down goes the Agama. What I'm concerned about is if the third skill in the skill tree is something very, very bad. Because you can get paralyzed, then the Scorch comes and you're still not unstunned, and if something like crack or petrification poison rolls out, you're in very bad shape. Meanwhile, Czar is heading to the big treasure room.
Perilous cast Glance.
Yikes.
Nothing very interesting on the first floor.
And now Xarnax is paralyzed. There's the Scorch. But no third ability. Glance is the next ability. Dodges Petrification.
His black belt is probably around 20 now. Yeah, 20, so we should be fine. But still, it was not impossible, but it was kind of ambitious.
Definitely risky, especially with the ability of the Agama to paralyze.
And there goes the stun.
And we'll see the follow-up, and that's it. Xarnax loses his grind.
And this is why you want to see all of the Agama's skills before you kill off everyone else. Now, chat, he doesn't have a ribbon. Right now, the best piece of armor he's got is a gold bracelet, so... Solo farming Agamas is pretty risky. Question in the chat, what happened? He got stunned by the Dazzle, and 2 turns later he got petrified by the Glance.
Yeah, and I think it looks like Xarnax is just going to leave at this point. Nope, heads back. Was just dumping an encounter. I think if you started that grind at level 15 or maybe level 20, you certainly would have had much higher magic defense from all of the black belt leveling. And you may have been able to survive that. Still very, very risky though.
Yeah, especially with those skills, you never know what can happen.
I feel like Xarnax is almost committed at this point to this strategy. Meanwhile, Xar finds the Mazmune, so...
Ooh, poison. Poison Red Hydras.
See if he
Xarnax got no soft.
Oh, it was a level 1 spell, so we'll see if he is just leaving those guys petrified to avoid damage for now.
And Xar got a ribbon.
Oh, if only he had checked the chests on the way down, that would have been a perfectly safe grind. And we'll see how long Czar will decide to level in this situation. Sees the Dazzle,
Well,
but with the Mazmune equipped, won't see much else beyond that.
his grind is gonna be much easier now with the Mazmune and the ribbon.
In fact, it'll be much easier for both players. Alright, Zara's going to check and see what the Red Dragon has in store.
Well, we won't see what red dragons have. Well, maybe. He's going to grind on red dragon. Okay, red dragon seem to roll pretty low HP.
Yeah, and this seems to be something that Zara likes to do, is check the Red Dragon chest with access to more of the, or with more of the party alive. If the Red Dragons have something nasty, it gives him a better chance of recovering, and if not, then he knows that he can freely level on these guys. They have Toxic,
Ooh.
but the cheap pro rings in Crescent Lake are going to prevent that from being an issue. It looks like the Red Dragon just flat out refuses to hit anybody but the fighter, so we'll see if this continues. That is a lot of wasted levels rolling into the Thief right now.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Toxic missing the Thief and the Red Mage. Maybe it would be time to unequip those pro rings.
Seems Ari's gonna head to carry.
Yep. And meanwhile, Xarnax is showing the Agama his nice new sword. So, solo grind for Xarnax, and this one is going to be much more successful. Zar gets the fast off in his fight against Carry, so this next hit from the Mazmune is going to do quite a lot of damage. Yep, 8 hits
And-
for 1,000.
Meanwhile, Xarnax is back where he was before he died. Level 21. So, where is Zara heading now? No Ruby, no Floater. Are we gonna see Ice Cave?
I would say either Ice Cave or Ordeals at this point, and I think Ice Cave, with its close proximity to Crescent Lake and 16 chests, is the right move.
He doesn't have the warp spell though, so it's gonna take a little longer.
Meanwhile, Xarnax is already up to level 26. Zar picking up the bottle. And another pro ring. Cure 4 and Invis 2 in the white magic shop. Temper and Ice 3 in the black magic shop, but unfortunately neither of those available to the red mage.
And I just realized my mic was turned off. I don't know how long, but
I think it was just for about 10 or 15 seconds. You should be good.
oh, okay. Good.
And it looks like Xarnax is going to check out the bottom floor, so he may find the very low HP red dragons.
Meanwhile, Zara is heading to Ice Cave.
Looks like he's having a little trouble getting away from these packs of wolves.
Xarnax up to level 30.
And things will go a little quicker now that he's moved on to red dragons. Meanwhile, Zar runs into the 6 wizard encounter, and they're not going to run away. So he's just got to slug this out. Xarnax up to level 33.
Although the wizards are not gonna be real trouble since they got access to Lit 3.
It's just an issue of time, though. Xarnax is going to have a lot easier time going through the ice cave. And in fact, if this ends up being a longer game, the longer it is, the more time Xarnax is going to have to catch up using that black belt. But just one encounter, and then Zar has a pretty nice run all the way to the 3 chests in this room. 2 of which he can get now, and 1 he'll have to wait. Gets a preview of the mage fight, and it looks like they have sleep as their first ability.
Well, sleep ain't so bad. When they start up with Blaze or Blizzard, you're in trouble, but sleep is fine.
Looks like Zar not taking any chances, just cuts down that solo mage, level 17 for his white mage. Meanwhile, Xarnax is still punching red dragons and is getting very close to that magic number of 40.
Yeah, maybe five more red dragons and he should be fine.
Zar finds another ribbon. Ice Cave already paying off.
Oh, and the slab. Star just got the slab and the black shirt.
So Slab and Ice Cave, and we still haven't seen Floater. If I find Floater, I'm thinking that I might head straight to Floating Castle.
Yeah, that would probably be the wise move. And the floater. Floater and slab in the same room. So now Zar is only looking for the crown.
So Xarnax is level 42, and it looks like he's still gonna go. He may just max out on levels at this point. That's going to get a lot of guaranteed fleas.
Meanwhile, Zar gets into another unrunnable fight.
Yeah, not a fan of using the black shirt. That's probably not going to kill anything that it hits. But looks like it didn't come up. Xarnax hits level 44, still going.
Seems like he's gonna go all the way to 50.
It'll be interesting to see what effect that has on enemy morale, and if other groups start running away at 50 that ordinarily wouldn't at 40. The eye was guarding the mage staff, which is pretty useful to put in the hands of the thief. Gives him something to do.
Yeah, especially in the Sea Shrine with those ghost encounters.
It looks like Xarnax has had enough. Time to go out punching. And rip Gary. Level 47 black belt with nearly max HP, and he doesn't save, so it's a good thing Geist don't have Death Touch. There we go. Looks like he's electing to go back into the volcano to check the top floor chests that he skipped, and is going to be a little disappointed with what he finds.
Meanwhile, Zar is getting his airship. And he's gonna see what's hiding in the Titan's closet. Nothing interesting there.
Got a nice sword and some money, and looks like Zar is just going to proceed directly to Earth Cave. So at this point, equipment-wise, I feel like both players are in go mode, with maybe the power gauntlet being the only item left that could be interesting to have.
Although if Xarnax is intent to go with the solo black belt strategy, maybe the defense sword would be a nice find too.
Yeah, that's a good point, and especially for the multiple water encounters in the Temple of Fiends, the defense sword will make that not a lethal encounter for the solo party member. And it looks like Zar just going to check the easily checked top 5 chests in the Earth Cave and then take off.
Yeah, now he's only looking for the crown and it's go mode for him, so I'm guessing he's gonna check all the easy chests. Probably Czardia Island too.
And it looks like Xarnax is doing a hard reset to get out of an ugly part of the encounter table. Hard reset on his power pack being a little more time consuming than on an emulator.
Zar picking up the nuke. And yeah, he's gonna check the island's chest.
A good move. These are the sort of the chests of least resistance at this point. I wouldn't be surprised if finding nothing if he would move to Waterfall from here.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Oh, seems like Xarnax is heading to Ordeals.
That, if that doesn't pay off with the crown, that could be a very big setback for him. Although, if he does find the crown, he's even less likely to go check Ice Cave.
Yeah.
So that might actually turn out poorly for him. So, the best outcome may be for him to just not find anything.
Although if you do find the crown, he's gonna check the ice cave soon enough. On the other hand, Zar can go anywhere now, so he's probably gonna check the Castle of Ordeal at the very end.
Yeah,
so
in fact, I would say, be more inclined to check Marsh before, or they did Marsh already, but if they hadn't, he would be more inclined to do that before Ordeals.
But of course, if the crown isn't in Ordeal, Xarnax is gonna have a lot of catching up to do.
So I feel like this is all going to come down to whether or not this is a short seed or a long seed. I think the long seed favors Xarnax, the short seed favors Zar.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And Xarnax trying to get away from these unrunnables.
And Zar killing this Tyro.
How could you?
He's hungry, come on. Tyro steaks are delicious, don't you know?
Uh-oh. Meanwhile, Xarnax is piling up the teleports here. And it's always a concern if you're pushing towards softlock territory. It looks like we're going to have an early check of Mirage Tower. Ooh, Chimera's with poison.
That's gonna hurt.
Yeah, that's going to hurt even more in Temple of Fiends. It's like the nasty ability from the gas dragons just moved from one enemy to the other. Zara with the first turn run against the
vampires.
So we don't get to see what they have. Resets against the Force Erebus fight, so we don't get to see what they have either. But we will get to see what is in the 10 chests on this floor. Looks like he's going to make some room for the silver bracelet. And the Cerebuses have slow, which is exactly what this fight feels like. So we know it is not in the Mirage Tower.
Ooh, a rare T-Rex encounter.
Xar running from the T-Rex, running from the Tyro as well.
And Xarnax realizing that there is nothing interesting at all in the Castle of Ordeal.
And it looks like he is headed to the ice cave right now. So Xar is kind of in an interesting spot, having left a couple of dungeons partially incomplete. He's got 19 chests in the Earth Cave, everything in the Floating Castle, and the Sea Shrine left. And they all have, between the Floating Castle and the Sea Shrine, that's roughly the same amount. Oh, and Xarnax resets, but resets all the way back to his previous position. In fact, with that high-level black belt, I might not have even considered. I might have considered not resetting there.
Yeah, unless you saved right in front of the exit, but maybe he thought he did. This is kind of my kind of mistakes.
Alright, and Xarnax looks like he's not saving again, goes right back in. We have Out of Bounds Bat on Xar's side. And Xar picks up the cube.
Xar killed the Tyro, he found the out-of-bound bats. And his run is pretty much validated already.
And Xar getting faked out finds the ruby in the waterfall. Xarnax trying to run from this unrunnable encounter just because the Frost Wolves aren't there doesn't necessarily mean that you can run from this. Oh, the mages also knew Blaze, so Xar got very lucky through his run through the ice cave.
And Xar with the unrunnable Sahag back. Seems like he decided to go straight to Kraken.
Yep, so he'll check the chests on the bottom floor first. Frost D's with gaze, not too scary, and it looks like Xarnax is gonna pick up the slab and the floater.
Yeah. Right next to each other.
Ooh, he's got to sit through this encounter with that paralysis on the red mage and the run fail. So he's going to lose a little bit of time on this.
And looks like he decided to punch his way through this fight.
He may think that that's unrunnable, and that would be unfortunate. Or he could just be scared of what these guys have. Another stun on the red mage, but gets out of it.
Another unrunnable for Czar in the Sea Shrine.
Wastes a bit of time with the cast of the mage staff. Can't really boil these waters. But Nuke's gonna clean them up quite nicely.
And now with the slab and the floater, Xarnax probably figured he might be behind.
Be interesting to see where he goes from here. If Czar's search through the Sea Shrine is fruitless, Xarnax could pull ahead if he decides to get the cube and the chime together and do the Mirage Tower search all in one go.
Yeah, that's probably what I would do, but we'll see. Question in the chat, can the seed be crownless? This is not possible. As Drumboard has just said, there is a door in the Temple of Fame that is locked, so you really need the key.
It looks like Xarnax is just gonna skip the eye chest, and that's gonna pay off, but certainly doesn't feel great. Still no sign of the crown on the lower portion of this floor, so the path to Kraken not yielding any results. Czar will likely head to Mermaid Village after this. And Xarnax takes to the sky.
I'm telling you, the crown is gonna be in Rodlock Earth Cave.
That might certainly give Xarnax some time to catch up, especially if he does Earth Cave first, too.
Another question in the chat, did they clear Marsh completely? They did, aside from the 3 locked door, obviously, because they still don't have the crown.
And we have a fight against Kraken on Czar's side. Cast of Invis 2 going off, so that should keep the fighter safe at least, but...
Ooh, Thunder. Okay, Kraken rolled pretty low damage on Thunder.
Having a couple of ribbons certainly blunts the impact, and 3 physical attacks are not going to do very much.
And there goes Kraken. For a second I was thinking Zar was going to skip the Mermaid Village.
Oh, heads right back in, and we'll see what was on the right side. Just a pile of gold. Xarnax remembers what he did with the bottle now. First turn nuke is about as good as you can hope for this unrunnable fight.
Oh yeah, it is. This fight can waste a lot of time. Xarnax going to get his chime.
And another unrunnable right before Mermaid Village.
Purity the Cat, yeah. Zar checked the Czardia Islands. Nothing interesting there.
Zar not even stopping to get that pro cape.
But he's gonna stop to get the opal bracelet.
Yep. And it looks like Xarnax is going to do the same thing that Zar did. He does not have the cube, though, so he will likely end up following the same path as Zar and not gain as much time as he could. Honestly, I feel like it's such a short diversion to go pick up the cube from the waterfall, and you get to see what's in those 6 chests that you might as well just pick the cube up if you're planning on dipping into Mirage Tower anyway.
Yeah, that's how I feel. I know I would probably get the cube before checking those chests. And while I'm there, I would just probably complete the entire dungeon. There are still a lot more chests on the upper floors. And Zar found nothing in the Mermaid Village. Well, he got the opal bracelet, but that's about it.
Yeah, so he knows exactly, or he has a pretty good idea of where the crown is, and he's not going to check ordeals. The amount of chests there just aren't worth it. Interesting that Xarnax choosing to check the top floor instead of the easier to check bottom floor. And now Xarnax is going to check the Czardia Islands. In the Vanilla Bane Sword chest, we have another ribbon.
So all the ribbon have been found.
So Czar's party very well equipped for the end game. He's going to take. Looks like he's going to take that solo Grey Naga fight. If his fighter goes first. And that's good experience. But it looks like they rolled a little high on the HP side, so. Pack of Manticores with Frost.
Well, with 3 ribbons equipped, this is not a big deal. And he's found the tail.
So if you're in Czar's shoes, do you bother with the class upgrade? Or do you the Temple of Fiends?
Personally, I wouldn't, since he's got no dragon armor, he's got no Aegis shield. I don't really see the point in class changing. He could get some more spells, but he's already got Nuke. Nah, I wouldn't bother. Oh, he has Aegis? I know he found it, but I thought he just let it there. Okay, my bad then. Oh yeah, okay, he got Aegis shield. Yeah, I probably would then. But still, he's pretty well equipped already. You don't really need to class change. He'll be able to complete the Temple of Fiend anyway.
Czar with some careful menuing over the exit spell to get to heal 3.
And he found defense sword and the dragon armor. And just like that, class change got way more interesting. And it seems like Czar is planning to class change since he made some place for this dragon armor.
Yep. And his gamble to check the top floor first did not work out. Finds the power gauntlet.
Power gauntlet. Nice. Now he's got absolutely everything he needs.
Yeah. Everything he would want as premium equipment he has right now. Meanwhile, Xarnax is going to check Mermaid Village and be disappointed in what he finds.
And there's the crown.
And there we have it. And with everything he could possibly want, Czar is just going to head for the exit.
Seems like 4/5 of the chat were right. It was in Sky Castle. Actually, I think I was the only one who was wrong. So now Zar is in full go mode. I don't see him stopping anywhere to get any other chest.
Yeah, and with Xarnax not anywhere close to the crown right now, I feel like he's too far behind to catch up. But we'll see if Zar has some bad luck in the Temple of Fiends.
Of course, with his level 48, 49 black belt, Xarnax got some advantage for the Temple of Fiend, but he's way too far behind. I feel like Zar would have to wipe 4 or 5 times for Xarnax to catch up. And I don't see it happening. Not with 3 ribbons and pro rings on everyone.
I think depending on his routing, a wipe at the end would be sufficient, but Zar is just so well equipped that it's not very likely. Especially when he can just, for all of the Fiend fights, throw that Thief at the front of the party as a meat shield.
Yeah, the only good use for a Thief. So, will Zar run into a Warmech?
Nope. All in all, a pretty quiet Warmech bridge.
Yeah, I feel like I got all the Warmech we needed yesterday. I still can't believe I ran into him twice on the same bridge.
So I think you and me are the only ones that have done that so far in the tournament.
Oh, it happened to you too?
Yeah, and I ended up killing both of them.
I ended up running away. I did not grind. I was... I had the feeling I was way behind, so I just ran away, but I ran into him 2 times in 3 fights.
Yeah, I tried to run from him as well, except I had the power level black belt. I just had fight, but the other 2 characters just failed their run twice. So it's like Xarnax got a little turned around on this floor, remembers that there aren't any chests, and also remembers that this is an unrunnable. But at least the red Sags are starting to run away now. And it looks like at his current level, they are running at a much higher rate than I'm used to seeing them.
And Zar is class changing. Doing some inventory management, and he's probably going to rush towards the end now.
Yeah, Katana on the ninja. Oh, we have a dead thief on Xarnax's side.
Yeah, but Katana isn't as good as it seems.
No, certainly not. It's better with weapon fixes on, and they are not on for this particular seed.
Yeah.
Still, it has a high enough crit rate where I feel that the ninja should be able to do at least 100 damage to fiends, and I think that's about the cutoff for sort of the difference between being completely useless and actually contributing a little bit.
Yeah, very little bit.
So Zar just has to clear out the Earth Cave, and he will be ready to take on Chaos. giant pack of gargoyles, giving some nightmarish flashbacks to anybody that played in the new player seed. And Xarnax is committing to full clearing lists as well, so he will fall even further behind. But if you're here and you're in Xarnax's shoes, you might as well do it. There's no reason not to.
Yeah, that's the logical way to go. And here comes the vampire.
And there goes the vampire.
Exactly. The least threatening boss in the entire game.
Always feels so funny that you remember from the base game that they might be a little difficult. Guys like Astos and the vampire, and then you just one-shot them in Randomizer almost 100% of the time.
I feel like the only way you won't one-shot Astos is if you need to get the crown and if the TNT is locked.
Yeah, if you get early crown and you're just too low level to cast anything powerful, but still, since he's an early game boss, you can still petrify him or instant death him fairly easily. So.
And while Xarnax is heading to Kraken, Zar is getting ready to fight Lich. Another short fight.
Yeah, and so Xarnax is 2 full fiends behind, still doesn't know where the crown is, and Zar now has a commanding lead. Well, the fast has gone off first, so we'll see how much damage. Okay, yeah, 2,745. You can't even make calamari out of him. There's nothing left.
At best he can make soup. Zar heading to Phantom.
Runs into the gas dragons. The nightmares, meanwhile, have crack. That's terrifying, but with 3 ribbons, not as much.
Looks like we won't get to see what Gas Dragon got. It's always funny when some endgame monster who usually got poison just cast fire or something ridiculous like that. And Xarnax with no exit spell have to walk out of the waterfall cave.
And that is a huge time sink. Meanwhile, Zar is very carefully moving the cursor over that exit spell again.
Question in the chat, the crown was in the second floor of the Sky Castle. Zar running away from those poisonous chimeras.
Has to deal with a couple of purple worms, but in comparison, much easier task. We'll see where Xarnax goes from here.
He is going to Mirage Tower.
So he should find that, yeah, he should find the crown in short order. See if he elects to check the top floor before the middle floor. If he just checks the middle floor, he'll be able to recover a little bit of time.
Yeah, but by then Zar will almost be done.
Yeah, I think this is definitely Zar's race to lose, but it would require, unless Xarnax finds the crown as fast as possible, I think Zar could wipe the chaos and still make another run down before Xarnax is ready to go into the temple.
Yeah, because even if Xarnax find the crown fast, he still gotta complete Earth Cave. He need to do this key quest, even though it takes like 2 minutes. But still, a lot can happen in 2 minutes. No encounter at all on the fire floor for Zar.
Nice smooth run, but
this is not the floor where you want to have a nice smooth run.
Yeah, if anything, I would definitely take it on the next floor.
Xarnax found the tail. While Carry goes down on Zar's side.
Yeah, and I think Xarnax won't be upgrading his party anytime soon. And there's those nasty waters.
Yeah, with Xarnax's party composition, I don't really see the point in class changing. And Xarnax sadly doing the logical thing and checking the third floor before the second floor. Zar ran into a lot of encounter on the water floor, but luckily for him, only one unrunnable.
Gets the invis off before Kraken can move, so that'll make him feel a little better. Well, this Kraken, he knows Thunder as well.
And nuclear.
Oof. Mage is barely alive after that, but the white mage is.
And Xarnax deciding to leave the power gauntlet behind.
Doesn't really need it at level 50, and there's the crown, and Xarnax is ready to go at this point, but with Zar heading to Tiamat already, this looks like this is going to be over fairly quickly.
Yeah, right now Xarnax is like 2 dungeons behind. And Manticore wasting his time. So, will we see a Warmech?
Nope. Don't
Nope.
see much of anything.
I'm still waiting for the day I'm gonna cross this bridge without any encounter. Oh, and Zar just wipe and a vampire pack.
Oh, geez, what do the vampires have?
I'm not sure. Oh, they had Zap, I don't know what spell they used, but they petrified him, and yeah, they had Xfer. So, Xfer and Zap combo. Oh yeah, okay, and Stone Touch. Not the way I expected Zar to wipe.
So there's the one wipe that Xarnax needed to catch up.
Yeah, I think he would need another one. Of course, is Zar wipe once again, we got a race.
Yep.
Might have been commentator's curse.
Well, if he wipes again, it's definitely commentator's curse, but for now...
It was just bad luck.
So we have somewhat synced up Earth runs. We've got Xarnax in the Earth Cave while Xar is on the Earth floor.
And the lone vampire get killed really fast. Once again. But it seems like they're much more dangerous when they come in packs.
Meanwhile, Xar having a little bit of trouble on the Earth floor with these unrunnables here.
I would say it's kind of his fault. He created this seed. He should know better than creating a seed in a race he's going to play.
That is true. And we have another full pack of Earths. And unbelievably, Xarnax is going to finish the Earth Cave before Xar gets off the Earth floor.
We almost had sync Lich fight. So our next got his key, is getting ready to run into the Temple of Fiend 2.
And now Xarnax is running in. Meanwhile, Xar back on the water floor. Xarnax with the nice run all the way down to Phantom, not one encounter.
Zdar back at Kraken. Let's see if he can get through the air floor afterward. Xarnax running away from those poisonous chimeras too.
Can't get
and
away
into
from
4 zombie dragons.
It can't quite get away from the zombie dragons.
Kraken knows Rob. Though with 3 ribbon, this is not a problem. So let's see what Tiamat got up her sleeve. First of all, stun touch. And we might not see much more of her. Nope, there goes Tiamat.
So, if Czar can make it off of this floor, it's going to be up to Chaos now.
Yep, and there he goes.
Time for the White Mage to leave the party, or lead the party, rather. And looks like Fast and Saber are going to go off without incident.
Yeah, Chaos starting out with Lit 2.
Yeah, giving Czar plenty of time to set up, and this should be over pretty quickly. Stun coming next.
Yeah. Right now I don't really see Czar losing this.
No,
especially if Chaos goes with Ink.
Yeah, this seems like a pretty safe bet. He's got 2 guys that are doing a fair amount of damage, so...
Unless Chaos chain like 2 nuke and a nuclear. And it doesn't seem like it's gonna happen.
And it's not.
And there he goes.
GG to Czar with an official SRL time of 1:55.55, so lots of 5s.
Question in the chat that ties up the series. There is no tie. It was a one match round. Winner takes all.
And that'll do it. GG to Czar. We'll see if we can get him in here for some commentary in a post-game interview.
Yeah, I think it pretty much all went down with this Agama grind that Xarnax failed the first time.
And so we have Czar in Discord right now. GG, congratulations on your victory.
I hope the broadcast went smoother than that run did.
Yeah, everything seemed to go pretty smooth. How did you feel after that vampire encounter on the air floor? Did you feel like you might have been behind at that point?
I figured I would have to be at that point. I mean, what are the odds of that? I've never seen anything like that in the entire time I've played this. I was zapped through 2 ribbons, and I could see the ninja got stoned, that he didn't have any protection. However, the zap through the ribbon, that was just absolutely heinous.
I mean, it's just a textbook case of ZRNG, right?
That was the worst case I've ever seen.
But those vampire cast Xfer, so Ribbon became absolutely useless afterwards. Because Xfer cancelled every protection the Ribbon offers. I think you got Xfer and then zapped.
Xfer is supposed to be bugged.
Yeah, it is if you cast it, but if the enemy cast it on you, it works.
Really, I was completely unaware of that. And I think that that is a gigantic problem.
Oh, it is.
And if you ever needed further evidence that it was a gigantic problem, I believe I just provided it to you. And Troper?
So, how did you feel about your run up to that point? It seems like you found the fair amount of equipment and the crown, so in pretty short order. So, were you feeling pretty comfortable up until that point?
Yeah, I mean, I thought that I could get through TUFR. I had the Power Gauntlet. I had Excalibur. I was extremely good on equipment and levels and spells. Definitely paid off going to Sky before Earth Cave.
Yeah, also paid off to go in that one room in Ice Cave. 2 of the most important key items in 2 chests right next to each other.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, we noticed that you dipped into Mirage early. Did you consider getting the cube first and then doing it all in one shot, or were you just committed to getting the chime and then checking those 2 floors?
Well, seeing that I had the slab translated at that point, I thought I would in there and maybe look out with the crown. That wasn't the case. I ended up full clearing Shrine, except for 1 chest. Yeah, that was basically my reasoning. I figured I'll go get the chime, I'll dip into Mirage real quick. There's a crown. There wasn't, so I continued to Shrine.
Meanwhile, Xarnax just started his chaos fight with 1 black belt and 5 HP remaining.
Yeah, I guess I heard you guys saying when I first came in that he had tried an Agama grind and then it was failed.
Yeah, he got stoned.
Yeah, it looks like Yeah, Xarnax is wiped at Chaos.
Yeah, he
Oh,
just
man.
forfeit.
This seed was not really the kindest seed given chests. Slab and ice is never a good thing. But yeah, it got really nasty there at the end.
Yeah, seems like Xarnax just forfeit. This was unfortunate.
Give me just a moment and I'll mute my microphone here and spare you my insane typing.
It sounds like we have Xarnax in here as well, and GG to you, Xarnax. Sorry, looks like you had a couple of wipes that proved to be too costly to come back from. And it looks like we've lost Xarnax again. So we'll try to get him back. Welcome back, Xarnax.
Seems like we lost him again.
Yep. So having a little bit of Discord problems. We'll see if we can get that straightened out. All right, Xarnax, can you hear us now? Can see your mic lighting up, but not hearing anything.
Xarnax has been possessed by the spirit of chaos.
Oh, I think I made it through.
All right.
Hey, there you
Yeah.
go.
We can hear you now.
Yep, we can hear you now.
All right. GG, Zai.
GG. This thing didn't like either of us apparently.
Yeah, I made a couple of mistakes early, and then from then I was basically felt really behind, so I made a whole bunch of gambles, several that didn't pay off. So then I felt more behind, but
Well, you weren't really that far behind.
I was about to say it looked like, based on your finish time, it looked like a fun finish to watch at least.
Yeah, I'm sure that the chat was raving after that wipe that I had. The chances of that wipe had to be 1 in at least 1,000 or greater.
Zapped through 2 ribbons. That's insane.
I need to check with Artean and Troper to see if Xfer does indeed work for enemies. That would have seemed to be the case.
Artia confirmed it in the chat after I said that Xfer does work on your party members, but it doesn't work on enemies.
Oh.
So they had
And
the
it just so happened that Wizard, Vampire, and Vampire had a combination of those spells.
Exactly.
Now, is there like what's the likelihood of Xfer hitting somebody with a ribbon? Is it still like minimal?
No, it'll definitely hit.
I wonder if
I'd say that Xfer has an extremely high hit rate.
Xfer actually canceled every protection the ribbon and Pro Ring offers for the time of the fight. So
it'll cancel it if it hits. I was wondering if like ribbon protects from getting hit by Xfer.
I don't think anything protects from Xfer. I think this is non-elemental.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Man, that is brutal.
Yes, and Troper, you got some explaining to do. I'm gonna send you a message, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, I got to TM2 with a black belt and a red mage. Black belt had 999 HP, and Tiamat took him out in 2 shots.
Damn, that's absurd.
Yes. And he had stun touch. Well, maybe it was 3 shots, but after 2, I was like single digits.
For 140 max HP and enemy stat, they sure did roll toward the higher end of that.
Yeah, I'll say. Chaos was a powerhouse too. Oh, well, not as much. I guess. So my biggest problem at the end was I forgot to stock up on heal potions. So I only had like 50, 60 for a Temple of Fiends.
I had I was running a white mage and a red mage, so I had plenty of heal through.
Oh, yeah.
So we noticed you ran with 2
and a black belt, I presume.
Go ahead, Zar.
Oh no, I think Xarnax was saying something about a ribbon, but you say something, Ed?
Oh no, he was just asking.
Oh, I asked if y'all had a black belt.
Oh no, I did not have black belt. I had fighter, white mage, red mage, and then thief.
Right. Okay.
The thief definitely saved a ton of time this run. I will be incorporating him into my future runs.
Oh man, thieves are fantastic. It's actually, I had some really, like I know your last race you had a lot of issues with initiative, and I had a lot of that today, and kind of neutralized any advantage having a second thief might have given me.
Yeah, the running was absolutely atrocious in my last tournament out. Definitely going to have to start running the thief more often, and I guess I'll have to decide to power level in Volcano or decide to keep him around. Keeping him around was a good play this time. It was helpful for absorbing damage, and he had the katana.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely, I think his value goes down as the enemy stats go up. It becomes more important to have somebody else who actually contributes to combat. But in the early rounds, for sure, the thief is just that ability to run is invaluable, I think.
I can definitely see myself using him in later rounds. I can just, devote that experience to the others, and
yeah, that's true.
I think I'm sold.
So, Xarnax, do you feel like maybe 2 thieves was a little excessive?
It looks like Edgeworth is talking, but I haven't heard a single word. I've actually only heard Zar this entire conversation. So if people have asked me questions, I'm sorry I ignored them. Something is going really wrong with my Discord.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so Wedge was asking if you ever thought 2 thieves might have been a little excessive.
No. No, because there are so many times when one of them is incapacitated, and typically it with flags that are as mild, I guess, as these. Like 140 really usually isn't that. I mean, even in the high end, is pretty manageable for a solo black belt. So the rest of the party is to support him basically in things other than combat. So primarily, I like a red mage the red mage is there to get me to the volcano as fast as possible. And then once I can grind the black belt, then the thieves are there to help me run. And if I happen to get lucky with like warp, exit, or healing spells, then that saves on heal potions. But other than that, I'm pretty convinced. I'm pretty happy with this party and the strategy I've been using lately. Did Zar full clear? Did you full clear ice and ordeals? Or when did you get the crown? I guess is my question.
I picked up Crown kind of early. I ended up going to Mirage early, trying to look for the crown. I didn't find anything there.
Right,
then I ended up going to Waterfall. It wasn't there. I did Sea Shrine lower. It wasn't there. I did the upper Sea, except for the out of the way chest, and it wasn't there. And then I went to Sky before Earth came.
Oh, okay. You said kind of early, and I thought maybe before you did all of that. So that sounds like we did pretty much the same thing after Floater.
Actually, aside from